Hey, good morning, friends. I just read and I saw several videos about it, that Arctic Cat, the snowmobile manufacturer up in Canada, North America, and in the northern part of the United States, is going bankrupt, is shutting down their business. And I was curious about that. I dug into it. And I also heard at the same time that Yamaha snowmobiles, they're no longer going to exist after this year, 2025 model year. And I'm digging around in this because I'm from New Hampshire. I was born and raised up there, and we used to go snowmobiling all the time. However, comma space, I didn't never own one. My dad never owned them because he never was into that kind of stuff. But I was into it because my friends had them, and I picked my poison, dirt bikes or snowmobiles. So I picked dirt bikes, but I'm very familiar with snowmobiles and I love them. So they're going bankrupt. They're going out of business. So this is everything is hinged on. Oh my gosh, it goes to Russia because I researched into this last night. Yamaha sourced many of their frames um, from Arctic Cat for their snowmobiles. They got them from Arctic Cat, and the Arctic Cat snowmobiles that carried the Arctic Cat name used Yamaha engines, either two-stroke or four-stroke engines. So I didn't realize that symbiotic relationship was there between those two companies, and I like Yamaha. I mean, I've owned many motorcycles from Yamaha, and I probably will still own many more. Never an Arctic Cat, but still, they're still related, and it's still of an interesting story to me. So there's thousands of people losing their jobs over this. And then I read an article last night about this. I was doing some research into this story, and it seems that the war in Ukraine, that Russia and Ukraine are fighting, which really it's not that. It's NATO and the West fighting against Russia, using Ukraine as a cheap whore to do this. That's the reality of it, and it's really, really, really savagely sad. But in my research, where this is going, and what I found out last night, is that the exporting of snowmobiles to Russia used to be a huge business, gigantic. Arctic Cat, Yamaha, they were selling machines over there left and right. Well, duh. Russia is a huge country. Most of it is snow covered, at least most of the year, or part of the year, or even all year round. It's snow covered, and roads aren't there, so you have to have snowmobiles to get around. And if that market going away, like it has gone away, has really killed these industries. So I'm going to go back to what Vladimir Putin said years ago. He said, all these sanctions that the West is initiating against Russia will have blowback. And it is having blowback. It's destroying these two companies. Lately, a year and a half ago or so, Gonzalo Lira, a journalist who I followed, very interesting guy, he said some really profound things until Ukraine killed him with the approval of us, the United States State Department. Sad, disgusting stuff. But Gonzalo Lira said, look, the elimination of cheap gas, natural gas from Russia to the West, mainly Germany, will have serious consequences in blowback. Not this last winter, but this winter right now, 2024, 2025. And it is. If you watched the German news about the German automobile industry, they are going bankrupt. This is huge. Porsche is having a gigantic problem. Volkswagen Group is having huge problems. They're closing factories left and right. They're laying people off, and the parts suppliers, they're being hit hard because of the short-sighted foolishness that these elected leaders here in the West have done. Joe Biden blowing up the Nord Stream pipelines. Shameful. This is just destroying Western Europe, and I don't know what the objective is here. This is really bizarre. So all these things are spiraling out of control, and I'm just here talking about it for 4 or 5 minutes and doing a see I told you so, because when this war started in 2022, I told my friends, and I said, look, friends and family and people that would listen, I said, look, this is not a Soviet tactic, what they're doing, this special military operation in Ukraine. This is not. This is something totally different. Because I know how the Soviet army fought. You don't want to be in front of the Soviet army on the march. Anything in their way is destroyed. They were brutal, ruthless killers. They put anybody into our arms that they could in World War II, and they won. That's how they won. In what Russia's doing in Ukraine, the special military operation is something completely different, something totally different, something new. Caught me by surprise. It caught some of my peers that do this professionally, render opinions professionally. I'm just a guy working on Porsches all day, listening to the news, keeping abreast of what's happening, making my opinions based on my own experiences and my own knowledge and my own gut feeling, okay? That's a big thing you got to do, your gut feeling. So these experts that I'm talking about, they said this is totally unprecedented what the Russians are doing, and it is. It's crazy. I mean, this is not a typical war. I mean, if it was, they would have rolled into Kyiv in the first month. They didn't. They're doing it's very, I don't know. There's some weird stuff going on in the world, friends. There's some really, really strange stuff that I can't quite put my finger on. I sort of can, and it goes back to years ago conspiracy theories that were kind of cool to entertain, but now you realize that conspiracy theories from 5-6 years ago, or even more, are coming to be true today. And that alone is concerning. See ya.